Mm, Okay. Hi. Who's live with us? Um, if you can see me, hear me, let me know. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. I'm multi-streaming, so you can catch me on Instagram, catch me on LinkedIn, catch me on YouTube. Hmm. Hi, Habib. How are you? Hi, Ife. How are you doing? Good? Hi, Tola. How are you? Hi, EJ. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Nathaniel. How are you? I'm very good, Ife. Very good. Let me know where you're joining me from. I'd like to know that. Habib, where are you joining from? Nathaniel, Ife, where are you joining from? I'm in Calgary. Tola, please be serious. Oh, Ife is joining from France. Habib, greatest Uniben. Godfrey, greatest Uniben. Nice. So where are you? Where are you based? I can guess you're in Nigeria. Oh, thank you, Dana. Nathaniel is joining us from Florida, from Tampa. Nice. Thank you, Tola. Ashkash from Ohio. EJ from Abuja. Tola from Calgary. Johnson from India. Hi, Shireen. Hello. Hello. How are you? All right. Hi, Femi. How are you doing? Where are you joining me from? Hi, Ume. How are you? Lovely. I see a lot of people joining us. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to get going because I have a lot to share. But I need you to communicate with me through the chat. Hi, Bishop from New York City. Hello. Hello, hello. Where in New York? Are you from Manhattan? Are you from Seoul? Are you from Brooklyn? Where? Okay, Femi is from Lagos, Nigeria. Nice. Hi, Omo. All right, we have lots of people joining us. That's fantastic. So we're going to get into the topic of today, which is how to land a six-figure role as a business analyst. Um, so earlier, I shared with you, how I shared with you how, one of my students was able to land a manager position, right? As a business analyst. Now we're going to talk about how to land roles as a business analyst, but first of all, really understanding the business analyst's role and, if it's a good fit for you and if it's actually something you've been doing already in your current role. So we'll get started. Um, I have some I'm using a new tool, so bear with me while I kind of figure it out. Okay. Yes. All right. So I have some slides on LinkedIn and YouTube. So if you also want to follow along with the slides, that's fine. But I'm still gonna, talk about everything. So if you're joining on Instagram, you can just follow along. That's fine, right? Okay. Thank you, Femi. All right. So let me know, how many years of work experience do you have? So the typical person who is going to make a transition into business analysis and land a six-figure role is someone who already has some years of work experience. So how many years of work experience do you have? Let me know how many years of work experience you have. And of course, what do you do for work? What kind of work experience do you have? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a banker? Are you an accountant? What do you do? What do you do for work? What do you do for work and how many years of experience do you have? Oh wow, 15 years, Ume. What do you do, Ume? Okay, Godwin has 5 years of work experience. What do you do for work? What do you do for work? Okay, Nathaniel has 5 to 6 years of experience. He is a CBAP senior, looking to jump into the six-figure range. Fantastic. EJ has 3 years working in the travel industry. Fantastic. Ashka Askash has 5 years of experience in social work. Ianu has 4 years working as a banker. Okay, 3 years debt consolidation. So that's financial services. Fantastic. Omo has 8 years in finance. Okay, Ume is a regulator in the oil and gas industry. I love that. Nice, nice, awesome. So, let me know, are you passionate about solving problems? Do you like to solve problems at work with what you do at work as a banker, as a regulator, working in the finance industry, travel industry, doing business development? Are you solving problems? Are you solving business problems? Do you solve problems, based on what you do for work? Fantastic. Now, with the work that you do you use technology to make life better? Are you using technology at work? Do you use technology? Do you use, technology systems? Do you use enterprise resource planning systems at work? Are you always interested in how technology can help make your life better? Let me know in the chat. Do you also love to make changes? Are you that kind of person that you love to make changes to the norm whenever you are, um, fantastic summit, whenever you are in a position, whenever you find yourself in a role, you're always trying to make changes. You're always trying to see how things will be better. You're always trying to improve things, right? You're always trying to solve problems. If our customers have challenges or issues, you want to solve it. You want to be on top of things. If there is a challenge at work, you're trying to resolve them. All right, nice, nice. Okay. All right. EJ says, yes, fantastic. That's fantastic. So I'm asking because these are typically attributes of a business analyst. This is really, who a business analyst is. Now, let me know, have you been involved in any of these things, based on the work that you do? Increasing profits. Does the end result of the work that you do help the company to increase their profits? Does it help the company to save costs? Does it help the company to help retain employees? Does it help with business process improvements? Does it help with improving productivity? Does it help with improving solution performance? Almost says yes. Ume says yes. Fantastic. Love that. Does it help with improving solution performance? Customer retention. With the work that you do you help with customer retention? Do you help with customer satisfaction? I believe you do that. EJ, you work in the travel industry, so you definitely do that. A lot of customer satisfaction, customer retention, helping with employee attrition. People who work in the HR space can agree that a lot of things that they do is to try to see how they can reduce employee attrition, attract, talent, and of course, keep them in the business. Have you helped your company to create a new product? Helped your company to create a new service? Okay. Have you helped your company to address a competitive disadvantage? Maybe there's a new competitor in the market and you're trying to see how you can address that disadvantage. Or have you helped your company to create a new competitive advantage whereby you're trying to take over a new market? Have you done that? Which of these have you done? Because all these things that I am listing are actually things that we do as business analysts. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Have you been involved in increasing employee satisfaction, making sure that employees at work are happy, they're satisfied? Have you been involved in compliance with regulatory policies, ensuring compliance? That is something you can relate to, Ume, because you are actually in the oil and gas industry and you work with a regulator. Therefore, that is what you do at work, right? Okay. Improving safety, for people who are in oil and gas, construction, in industries that, have a lot of safety issues and safety compliance policies. Do you help with that? Do you help with reducing the time to deliver a product or a service? Trying to improve how we deliver our products, how we deliver our services. That is also what we do as business analysts. Have you helped to implement a new system at work? Help to implement a new technology? Maybe we're upgrading what we were using previously. Maybe we were implementing a new system. All these things are what we do as business analysts. Are you involved in doing a lot of market research? That's something that you probably will be doing, Godwin, because you're in business development for sure. So you'll be doing a lot of market research and, of course, user analysis, trying to analyze the users and understand what they want, what they need. All right, fantastic. Okay. Now, the truth is, all these things that we've talked about are all business analysis. Everything we've talked about is business analysis. And these are the things that we do as business analysts, right? So when you understand what a business analyst does, then you can understand how to start that career, how to transition successfully, and how to also grow in the business analysis career path. So what is business analysis in itself? Is the practice of enabling change in an organizational context by defining the needs, recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. So if you're in a position where you're always enabling change in the organization, you're always defining the needs in the organization, and you're recommending solutions to the stakeholders in the business, that is business analysis. Okay. So what makes business analysis formal? Because a lot of us have been doing business analysis informally, right? Because a lot of things that we shared earlier, you said you've been doing that at work. Now, what makes business analysis formal is that, you're using some set tasks and techniques, to perform business analysis. So you're basically doing it the right way, based on how the IIBA has stated we should, carry them out through our guide, to business analysis, book of knowledge. So once you're following a set of tasks and techniques, then you're formally practicing business analysis. Now, who is a business analyst? Business analyst can be very vague, can also be very general, because it's really any person that performs any of those tasks. So all those things we talked about, if you perform all of them, then you're already practicing business analysis. Now, the definition also says that no matter your job title or role, so you don't need to have the title of business analyst to actually be a business analyst. If the things you do at work already correlates with what a business analyst does, in sense of understanding the business problems, understanding the business goals, analyzing needs in the business, analyzing solutions, devising new strategies to implement those solutions, driving change in the organization, facilitating stakeholder collaboration. If those are the things you constantly do at work, working with people, understanding the problems, recommending solutions, all of that, if you're doing all of that, that's already business analysis, right? That's already business analysis. So your title doesn't matter, okay? Your title doesn't matter when you're practicing business analysis. Now, let's look at, what business analysts typically earn in different parts of the world. In the US, the average salary for BAs in 2020, the results for 2021 will be out in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait to see what it's like, because the truth is, every year, the annual average salary of business analysts is always increasing, and that's because there is a constant demand for business analysts, and not just any kind of business analyst. Business analysts who understand the practice, who understand how to use the set of tasks and techniques that are prescribed in the business analysis book of knowledge, right? So every year, the average salary of business analysts increase because there's that demand. Companies are willing to pay more for people who can actually help them solve problems, because the truth is, a lot of companies, have so many kind of problems, especially with what we're facing right now in the world. A lot of companies were not prepared for what happened. A lot of companies had to move, digitally. They had to start working remotely. They had to start implementing technologies that would actually help them to work from different parts of the world, that would help their teams to perform effectively and efficiently without being in a location. So that is why there is a huge demand for business analysts. So the average salary of a business analyst in the United States is $104,000. That's the average salary. Okay. Now, the average salary of women in the United States as business analysts is $102,979, while the average salary of men in the United States is $107,210. Now, these are the 2020 figures. 2021 figures will be out in a couple of weeks, and we're going to review it together as well. And trust me, it's definitely going to increase because that's what happens every year. Okay. Now, the top paying industries where business analysts work in the United States are finance, insurance, banking, information technology, healthcare, pharmaceutical industry. Okay, so those are the top industries that business analysts work at. So if you're already working in finance, like someone said here, you're already working in banking, in IT, healthcare, pharmacy, insurance, all these companies are the top industries rather where business analysts work. So you already have the experience. Okay, now what are the top paying industries for business analysts in the United States? The top paying industries are the consulting and professional industries. The consulting industry, comprises of consulting companies like the PwC's, KPMG, Deloitte, and all of that. And there are so many other consulting companies that are not part of the Big Four, but that's where business analysts earn the most. Okay, so as at 2020, right, the average business analyst in the consulting space earned $146,000. Okay, and then in other industries, the average business analyst was earning around $114,000, while the third best industry in the United States was energy. In the energy and utility space, the average business analyst earned $106,000. Right? Let's look at the figures for Canada. I live in Canada. Okay, the average salary of a business analyst in 2020 in Canada was $108,090. $108,000. Average salary for men was $115,000, while for women was $97,000. I wish there were more women, in the business analysis space because, as we could see, there is sort of an equal between the men and the women in the US because there's more women in business analysis compared to Canada. So if you're in Canada, definitely join business analysis. All right. Top industries where business analysts work in Canada: finance, insurance, banking, information technology, government, right? So you can also work in the government as well. Top paying industries where business analysts work in Canada: energy and utilities. Of course, Canada is, there's an oil producing country. So it's expected. And the average salary of a business analyst in the oil and gas energy space is 153,963 Canadian dollars, 153,000. Okay. The second top paying industry for business analysts in Canada is healthcare, right? The healthcare industry for business analysts pays around 127,659 Canadian dollars. Okay. And in the finance, insurance, and banking industries, that's the third sector where business analysts earn the most. The average salary there was seen to be $110,000. And that's for Canada. In a country called Australia, business analysis is also a very, very lucrative, a very, very lucrative career. The average salary of a business analyst in Australia is 137,000 Australian dollars. Okay. The average salary women earned was 137,668 Australian dollars. Okay. Men earned 139,274 Australian dollars. Now, there is such a high demand for business analysts. Hi, Ola. Hi, Ketch. There's such a high demand for business analysts. So when you're thinking about, getting to the business analysis space, I want you to also think about, do I have experience in these industries that pay business analysts so well? Do I have experience already? And that's why it's very easy for people who worked in all these industries: finance, banking, insurance, IT, healthcare, pharmacy, consulting, energy, utilities, oil and gas. It's so easy for them to make that transition because they already have the industry experience. Does that make sense? Is that clear? All right. Same thing with Australia. The top in industries business analysts work: finance, insurance, banking, IT, and in the government. The top paying industry in Australia for business analysts is the government, is actually in government. The average business analyst in government in Australia earns $160,000. Healthcare industry follows up with $157,000, and the IT industry follows up with $149,000. The fantastic thing about the business analysis career path is you don't need to have a tech degree. You don't need to go back to school to get a degree to work as a business analyst. You don't need any of that. If you already have experience, then you can work as a business analyst. That's why I asked in the beginning, do you have work experience? How many years of work experience do you have? What industries have you worked in? Now, if you have experience in these industries that are already paying business analysts this amount, how about you learn how to take that experience, take the skills you already have, learn how to practice business analysis, in the proper way and make the same amount of money. So you could be in healthcare and you're not even making up to that. Yes, Chantel, any work experience counts. Any work experience, regardless of where you've worked, any work experience counts when it comes to making that transition into business analysis. Because the truth is, every company needs business analysts. Now, something you should also note is it doesn't matter what your level was, at all. Now, if you remember what I shared, you can always check on my profile. I shared that this morning. This person was in an associate level role and, was able to get to a managerial position as a business analyst. I will talk about that now. There are different levels that business analysts can work in as well. Okay, so you might say, oh, my experience is only in operations, right? I've done only operations all through my career. Well, business analysis also starts at operations. So we have the operational level of business analysis, the day-to-day operation of a business. Business analysis is involved there because we're trying to satisfy our customers, we're trying to increase our revenue. All these things we talked about, they're all business analysis. There's also the tactical level where you're working with the mid-level management. So if you're already in that mid-level management position, then you're already doing some business analysis activities that relate to that. And then we have the strategic level where business analysts work. At the strategic level, what you're doing is helping the company to set long-term goals, right? 5-year, 10-year, 20-year goals. And you're seeing how we can implement those goals for the business. You're basically helping the business to set up a strategy on how we're going to launch our new products, how we're going to enter a new market. Maybe we're moving from the south to the north. How do we launch our products in the north, right? How do we launch our products in another country? How do we expand? How do we position ourselves when it comes to competition? How do we expand? Are we going to carry out mergers and acquisitions? What are the things we're going to do? Obviously, Chantel, if you already have experience in operations, definitely you can still work as a business analyst. All right. Okay. So, there are different job titles for business analysts as well. So when you think about business analysis, it doesn't have to always be that job title. Like we read, and we learned in the beginning, the business analyst role is not defined by your job title. It's defined by what you do at work, right? So the general title is business analyst, but it could be anything else aside from that. It could be product analyst, it could be product manager, it could be data analyst, it could be business intelligence analyst, financial analyst, requirements analyst, customer experience analyst, user research analyst, product owner. There's so many different titles depending on the task and responsibilities you carry out. Like one of the most common questions people ask is, what's the difference between data analysis and business analysis and business intelligence analysis and business analysis? It's really about what you do. So for a data analyst and a BI analyst, that person is basically using data, using statistical information to help the business, right? You're using data and statistical information and tools to help the business make informed decisions. So when you do that, all the things you're doing is, getting the data, sorting the data, visualizing it, and then of course being able to present to the business and saying, based on the trends I've seen, based on my analysis, what we see is that every 5 years, this is something that's recurrent in our business. So these are my recommendations to solve it. So it really depends on, the context, right? However, it's all business analysis. It's all business analysis. Okay. There are also other ways you can also make that transition into business analysis. So, earlier I was talking about the fact that if you already had experience in an industry, say banking, insurance, finance, healthcare, oil and gas, education, if you already had experience in an industry, it's very easy for you to transition to that industry. And basically, that's what a lot of my students do. However, as a business analyst, you can work anywhere. But that industry experience always gives you an edge when they're looking for a business analyst that have experience in banking. So there are actually roles like banking business analyst, healthcare business analyst. I've seen mortgage business analyst, investment business analyst, right? Oil and gas business analyst. So your experience is so important. That's why I tell people, don't ever discount the experience you already have. The experience you already have is valuable somehow. I'll give you two examples. First example is, someone that I coached. She was the lead for a customer contact center where they have the customer care officers who take on the calls, answer, customers' complaints and queries and all of that. And she was the lead for the customer contact center. Now, when she reached out to me, she was saying she wanted to, get into business analysis. And I asked her, what have you done? And she said she'd been working in the customer contact center and she was now the lead at the center. Well, I told her that experience is still valid because a lot of companies, in fact, most companies have a full-fledged customer contact center. And there are so many things, so many moving parts to making sure that the customer contact center is functional, right? There are technologies that have to, be put in place. There are processes, there are policies and procedures. That is where the business analyst comes in. So today, she's a senior business analyst working in the customer contact center, helping a business, right? Helping a company here in Canada with their customer contact center. Okay, I can give you another example of one of my students who actually is an entrepreneur. She's never worked before. So unlike you, who already has experience in the travel and hospitality industry, then, that person didn't even have any experience. Well, her experience was more of entrepreneurship. But in her entrepreneurship experience, she'd done so many things, like getting her website done, fixing up her website, building apps, attending to our customers, solving customer problems. That is business analysis. She was able to use her experience as an entrepreneur, developing all these things to land a business analyst job. Okay. So EJ, you were asking, are there BAs in travel and hospitality industry? Of course, yes, definitely. Definitely. A lot of the companies, WestJet, Air Canada, KLM, British Airways, you name it, they all have business analysis teams. They all have business analysis teams. I have students that work in the aviation space. So yeah, they definitely do. So your first degree is in accounting and your second degree is in education, 50 years in teaching. Of course, you can transition into business analysis, that's for sure. You actually do have good experience. I have a student that's a business analyst in the college. He works with a university, right? When you think about business analysis, the industry doesn't matter. It's what you're going to do. What you're going to do for that company, for the industry, for that organization, right? So if you still want to remain in education, you can, or you can change industries, that's fine. All right. So there are other ways too, like if you have experience using a particular technology as well. So say at work, there's some technologies that you use. Maybe you use Salesforce, you use SAP, you use Oracle, you use Microsoft Dynamics, you use, some tools that are unique to your industry, right? I have a student who was able to get a business analyst role using, there's a particular software that they use in healthcare, right? And that person had worked in the healthcare industry for a while. And there's a particular software that they use in in the healthcare industry, and they wanted a business analyst. And they wanted a business analyst that could actually help them implement. What do you use? MVP. I don't know your name, but what do you use? They wanted a business analyst that could actually help them to implement that technology as well, right? So think about all these things. What frameworks as well do you have experience in? Do you have experience in agile framework, right? Do you have experience in the agile framework? That could be a plus for you. And then if you have experience using data, you do a lot of Excel, SQL, and all of that, then you have some experience in data. You can't hear? Uh-oh. All right, I will try to go live again. Hmm. Can you hear me now? Hmm. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me. Okay, fantastic, Erica. All right, I think the other guys on Instagram lost me, so let me just reconnect. All right. Okay, I think we're coming back. All right, fantastic. All right, let's wait. Okay, that live stream is back. Fantastic. All right. So as I was saying, so you can definitely look at, the perspectives as well. What are the skills you already have? If you already have good data skills, you can get into the data analysis space, right? If you already have experience doing things that have to do with process improvement, process management, then you can get into the business process analyst space, right? If you already have experience in IT, right? If you're already somebody who has experience in IT, then you can get into IT business analysis, right? So think about the different perspectives you probably worked in. Different perspectives also matter as well. All right. So, how do you really become a business analyst? What are the things you need to do? Maybe some of you have been looking at the business analysis job descriptions. You probably are scared. They look so scary. They look like things that oh, MVP, you're an IT project manager. That's fantastic, right? You probably have looked at the business analyst salaries. Wow, they pay them so well. How do they do this? How do they pay them so well? And the job descriptions look scary to you. So you probably haven't applied, or you have applied and you feel like, oh, I didn't get this role. Maybe I'm not experienced. Maybe I can't even perform on the job. Right? Or you feel like there's a lot of tools you need to learn and you don't know how to learn those tools. Or you probably have been looking on LinkedIn, looking for, a new opportunity, seeing a lot of business analyst opportunities, but you don't know what to do. Or you might probably attended a boot camp. A lot of people have gone to boot camps, or done something on Udemy or looking on YouTube. But the truth is that is really not enough for you to actually make that transition, right? Those courses, and tutorials are good for people who are already in the role and are learning how to use those tools on the job or need a refresher, not for somebody who has never ever used them before, right? Or sometimes you might be using your current resume, to apply for a business analyst role, and that should not be the case, because if you're using your current resume, it's not aligned to business analysis, right? Or you may have gone online, seen a business analysis resume, and found a way to sort of copy it. But the truth is, if you're not authentic with your own experience that you have, right? Your experience, MVP, is very different from EJ's experience, different from Olu's experience. So we all have different experiences. Make sure that you capture your experience on your resume. That shows you already have knowledge of the business analysis task and techniques. Remember, like we said earlier, what separates the person who is just performing business activities and the person who is really a business analyst is the task and techniques that you use at work. Okay. And a lot of us are working in, jobs, want to change careers. I get a lot of messages from a lot of you. You want to change your careers. You want something better. You want a better role. And you're thinking how you're going to be able to do it. But you can give the value a business analyst does. You know that when you give that value, even at work, you're not going to be paid what a business analyst earns. So I totally get you there. And I have been there as well. Now, there's so many ways you can, land a BA role. It could be through networking on LinkedIn. And maybe you've also tried to network on LinkedIn, but it hasn't been successful for you. Or you've tried to craft a LinkedIn profile that would be very close to what a business analyst profile would look like, but still you don't have recruiters reaching out to you. Those are some challenges that a lot of people face. If you face any of those challenges, let me know. Or you feel like I need to go back to school, I need to get a degree, I need to get a degree in computer science, computer engineering, I need to learn Python, R, I need to learn Java, CSS. I've had people reach out to me and tell me that they needed to do all of that, or that they were learning all of that to become a business analyst and they were struggling. The truth is, you don't need any coding skills. You don't need to write code. You don't need to have any technical skills. Okay. So if that is you, you can still use the experience you have and you can change your career. You can change your life with business analysis. So if you want a more fulfilled life and you truly deserve more, you're hardworking and you can do the job as a business analyst, let me know if that is you, because truly that was me working as an accountant. Erica, but you don't need to know all these tools. You don't need to know all the tools before you can work as a business analyst. Trust me, there's nobody that, is a business analyst right now that would tell you I knew all the tools. The tools that business analysts use are in hundreds. There are hundreds of tools that business analysts use on their job. So you cannot learn all of them. EJ, EJ, you don't need to learn all the tools, but you can definitely, start your career as a business analyst. So sometimes you might be in a work situation as well. You're currently in a role where there is no visible path to success or to growth in that role, or that there's definitely not going to be a significant increase in your salary, in your package. That's also something that's possible. Or there's just that ceiling in that career path or in that industry, in that organization, that that even if you work there for 10, 20 years, you really can't make the amount of money you want. You definitely can't get to where you want to be. Then, maybe if that's you, you definitely should think about changing your career. But the truth is, there's actually a treasure chest within you, and that is the existing skills and experience you already have. That's the treasure chest that you can actually use to change your life and your career with business analysis. Okay? Because the experience you already have, like I shared, the knowledge you already have, the skills you already have are vital. So when you understand how to use the skills you already have, the experience you already have, you definitely have complete control over your career. You decide what industry you work at, how much you earn, you decide the kind of opportunities you want, you attract the right opportunities to yourself, you become more confident in your knowledge and your skills. And that's what I want for all of you here today, is to understand how you can be more confident and how you can use the skills and experience you already have. Okay. Now, if you do not know me, my name is Eno Eka, and I didn't do an introduction before I started. No, Chantel, you don't need coding experience at all. You don't need to learn any coding to be a business analyst. I say this all the time. My name is Eno Eka. I am the CEO of Any Consulting Incorporation here in Canada, and I am the founder of Business Analysis School, right? So what I do is business analysis consulting. I do business analysis coaching. I help organizations, small to medium businesses, leverage technology to grow their revenue. I help professionals as well to start careers in business analysis, grow their income to six figures. I used to be an accountant. So I know somebody here said they were an accountant. I used to be an accountant as well. Worked in accounting for a while, and I changed careers. I changed to business analysis. I moved to Canada 3 years ago. And in 6 months, I got my first six-figure job, and it was crazy because I never expected that, never saw that coming. However, coming from somewhere like Nigeria, where at that time business analysis was not a thing, when I was trying to make that career transition to business analysis, a lot of people were saying, there is nothing, there's no demand for this role. Why are you getting into this position? But I was thinking more of the future, that even if it wasn't something that I could leverage immediately, getting in early was something that I could take advantage of. And I did, right? And in the past 3 years, I've been able to, skyrocket and grow my income as a business analyst as well. And I've been helping other people to do the same. Now, because I have done this and I have made that transition myself, I know the steps to take. I know the strategies to use to achieve this in 3 months or less, right? And grow your income to six figures, especially if you live outside Nigeria. But even in Nigeria, there are business analysis roles. There is a high demand for business analysts as well, with a lot of tech companies, gaining ground in Nigeria and the tech space. A lot of companies like the banking industry, the oil and gas industry, the finance industry in itself, the tech industry in Nigeria, there's also that demand for business analysts. So, you don't need to, look down on yourself and say, oh, there is no, I don't see any demand for business analysis. If I did that years ago, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And if I wasn't already prepared when I moved to Canada, there is no way I would have been able to do that in 6 months. Okay. So you want to think about the future, be futuristic in your thinking. Don't think about the present, think about the future. And that is something that a lot of us don't do. And that is something that a lot of immigrants as well struggle with when they move abroad, is they move abroad without a plan for their careers. They don't think about, what am I actually going to do when I move abroad? What am I going to do? Where do I want to work? What industry? What are the roles that will be the best fit for me? How can I start preparing for my journey, before I arrive? Because once you arrive abroad, you start paying bills, you start paying your bills. There's bills to be paid. And then you have to start thinking of, how do I make income? How do I make income? I need money to start coming in somehow, because you would change your local currency to dollars. And at the end of the day, it's really nothing by the time you start paying your rent and paying for your bills. And that pushes people to desperation. So you definitely want to think about all of that before you relocate. And those were some actions that I took even before I knew I was going to relocate, because that sort of set the pace for me. So over the past couple of years, I have, worked with University of Manitoba, helped them to develop the content for business analysis. I also teach at the University of Manitoba. I'm the Director of Education for the IIBA Calgary chapter here in Canada. CEO of Any Consulting, founder of Business Analysis School, where I teach and coach people on how to land jobs as a business analyst, agile project manager, agile lead, scrum master, product owner, product manager, and all of that, right? We're an IIB endorsed education provider because, like I shared earlier, you can't say you're a business analyst if you don't know the tools, the techniques, and the tasks. So we follow that principle, and that's why we're endorsed to teach using the same, using the same methodology. And then we're also a Scrum study training provider. And I speak about business analysis and career advancement a lot on TV, on radio, on a lot of magazines. I've been featured there as well. And I've won a lot of awards for the work that I do in education and, helping people to, educating people really. Forbes, Calgary 40 under 40, Forbes 30 under 30, RBC Women of Influence, top 100 women to watch in Canada. So many, top 30 under 30, Alberta, RBC 25, like there's so many of them. However, I love what I do and I love to share this with people because the truth is, I see myself in so many people, especially immigrants. 90% of people I work with are immigrants, right? They're, either from Africa or they're from Asia, right? And the truth is, we have a lot in common in that we already have experience. We migrate to the UK, to USA, to Canada, but a lot of us don't have a plan. We don't think about what we want to do when we arrive there. So I find that I work with a lot of these people because we have very, very similar experiences as well. So how did I change my life with business analysis? I used to, work in accounts. Like I said, it was boring. I was tired of the accounting role. It was monotonous and I wanted something new. And today I've been able to do that, right? Make that transition to business analysis and help other people do the same. This year, I was listed as one of the 8 women in the world to watch in business analysis. And I am the only African woman, the only Black woman on that list. And I want many more people to do that because if I could do it, you also can achieve it. Okay. So let's talk about these steps that I want you to take. Let's talk about these steps that I want you to take as we go through this session today. How can you change your life with business analysis? What are the things that you can do? What are the things that you can do as a business analyst? If you're following on LinkedIn, I'm actually showing slides on LinkedIn. So if you're following me on LinkedIn, you can see the slides as well. But if not, that's fine. And then just to let you know that even though I moved to Canada, it's not exactly an easy road. That's why I tell a lot of people, no matter what you're coming to Canada to do, make sure that you prepare yourself. If you're coming here to start a career in a new path, do your research, start applying, get your admissions, know how you're going to make that transition. If you're continuing a particular path, are there courses I need to take, certifications, exams, licensing? All those things should be things that should be top of your mind when you want to relocate. Okay, don't just relocate by just packing your bags and going to the airport and not thinking about the future. And even when I arrived Canada, I did have my own challenges. I lost my bags when I arrived. People were telling me it wasn't possible to continue this business analysis career path. I should go start from working in the store as an associate. So many things. I met people who were working in the warehouse, people who were working as security guards, and all of that. So those are real life challenges that people have, and that's because relocating is a totally different experience. There's a lot that comes with it, emotionally, financially, physically, and otherwise. So you have to prepare yourself mentally and do the work ahead. I started small, but where I am today is thanks to the career path that I chose and the actions that I took and decisions that I made in my life. So I know what it's like to feel stuck in your career. I know what it's like to be bored with the work that you do because it's very monotonous. I know what it's like to be in a role and not see progress for yourself, struggling to make life out of that career. I know what it's like to see a glass ceiling, where you are, or you're just working to pay the bills, or you're really stressed out because the work that you do is not fulfilling. And fulfillment is a huge part of why we should actually focus on being in the right career. Okay. So, how can you change your life with business analysis? How can you attract global opportunities? How can you use the experience you already have? What are the skills that are required? What are the things you need to do? How can you negotiate top dollar salary? How can you ensure that you're getting the best, packages? Because something I also see with a lot of new immigrants is that when they arrive Canada, they get a role and they get an offer. They don't even ask questions. What do people typically earn in these roles? Based on years of experience, based on knowledge, you can actually negotiate your packages, negotiate what you actually take home. Because the truth is, employers expect you to negotiate. So I tell people, don't always accept the first offer. Try to negotiate, see what can be increased. And there are so many aspects to a compensation package. That's a whole class on its own, because I would need to dissect a compensation package for you to understand. Okay, so the first step is your mindset, right? What mindset do you have? What kind of mindset do you have? Do you have the mindset that you know that whatever you set your mind to, you would achieve? You have looked at your experience, you understand the value you've brought to the table with the work that you've been doing, right? With what you've done throughout your career. You know, Someone here said he had 15 years experience. Another person said he had 5 years of work experience. Someone said she had 3 years of experience. Over the years, what have you done? And what value have you brought to the table? Have you ever taken out time to actually document your achievements, document your successes over the years? That is something a lot of people do not do. If you're able to do that, you will build your confidence and self-belief by actually seeing the things you have achieved so far in your career. Is that something anybody has done? If you've ever done that, let me know. How do you stay optimistic? Are there ways that you stay optimistic in your job search, in your career transition? How do you stay optimistic? Do you have the right people around you that would guide you? Do you do that? And then do you understand who a business analyst is, and that a business analyst is a solution provider? Do you understand how to provide solutions to companies? Where you work right now, can you say that you are a solution provider, that you provide solutions to that company where you work at right now? So that business, can you say you provide solutions? If you currently do that, then you can always do that as a business analyst, because the truth is the same thing, just like we've heard earlier, right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So, if you already have experience in an industry, like I said, and you already have that mindset of value, the value mindset it's so important to have that value mindset. It's so important to document your achievements. What are the things you've done so far, right? That makes you stand out, that makes you a high achiever, right? Who are the people in your circle that would, keep you going, that would encourage you, that would lift you up even when you feel down, right? Are you someone who is a solution provider? You're always improving things. You're always finding ways to solve problems. You're always finding ways to improve things. If you're that kind of person and have that mindset, that is the business analysis mindset. And if you already do, then you're very, very close to landing that business analysis job. Okay. Now, let's talk about your experience. I know we talked about experience earlier, and that sparked a lot of questions with people asking me questions. My experience in the travel industry still helped me as a business analyst. With my experience in education, still helped me as a business analyst. And of course, I said yes, right? So I want you to be confident in the experience you have. Don't feel like because my experience is not in a global company like a KPMG or a Shell or a PwC, that means my experience is not valid. That's not true. The experience you have is valid regardless of the industry, regardless of the company, right? As long as it was a legitimate business, right? Your experience is valid. So be confident in your experience, right? I've helped people and coached people who worked at companies I'd never heard before. Maybe they're, small, one-man businesses or very small to medium scale businesses. And that didn't deter them from making that transition to business analysis. And then understanding the job titles, right? Job titles do not matter. Like we learned earlier, the definition of a business analyst is anyone who is carrying out business analysis task, regardless of your role, regardless of your experience. So you want to understand that the job title doesn't matter. It's about your experience, and that your experience is valid. Okay. Don't discount your experience because you feel, oh, I didn't have the title of business analyst. Don't discount your experience because you feel, oh, my company was not a Fortune 500 company. Therefore, it doesn't count. So do not feel that way, and learn to leverage the experience you already have to get you to where you want to be. The truth is, a lot of us already have what it takes. The experience you already have can get you to where you want to be. A lot of times we feel incomplete, we feel incompetent in ourselves because we feel we need to go further and do something extraordinary. No, you do not. If you understand the experience you have, and like we said earlier, documenting your achievements, you understand that you can leverage the experience you already have. Let me talk about experience again. Like I shared in the morning, with one of my students who landed a manager 3 role position in one of the top banks here in North America. Her experience was back in Nigeria in Access Bank. And what she did was anti-money laundering, AML, and KYC, right? So that's what she did in the bank back in Nigeria. She moved to Canada and was getting all these associate roles because, of course, back in Nigeria, her role was not a big role. She was just an AML analyst. And she was getting all these associate roles. However, when she joined my program, she was able to learn how she could use her experience and position herself for the right jobs. And that is how she moved from associate to manager, just like that. She used her experience in AML and moved to the AML department of one of the top 5 banks in Canada. And she's now a manager in that department. So think about the experience you already have, right? So someone asked the question, she said her experience was in education management, right? There's colleges, there's universities, they all have business analysis departments, they all have business analysis teams. And you can use your experience in education to actually help the college, help the university. Also, I've worked in a tech company that had a full-blown learning and development team that was inclusive of people who studied education. So all the people in that team had education degrees, and their job was to conduct trainings, develop the materials, and develop the training solution, internal training solution and external training solutions. That's what they did. All right. So in the company, all the people in the learning and development department were called business analysts. However, they all had education degrees because they were in charge of internal training, external training, training development for the staff, implementing the training solutions that we use, the softwares, creating the training manuals. And they all had education experience. So companies value experience. Companies value the knowledge you have. All right. Companies value your knowledge and your experience. You're the one that doesn't value it. You are the one that doesn't value it. So I need you to start thinking wide, start thinking deep about the things you've done and do some research. Understand that, companies don't only need engineers, right? Because when engineers deploy a new solution, how are people going to use it? People need to be taught how to use it. So you there that had experience in education, you would work with the developers, the engineers, understand the solution, and create a training to train people on how they can learn to use that solution. So think wide and don't think that your experience is invalid, okay? Think wide, think very wide because your experience counts, all right? Okay, so let's talk about the knowledge you already have. A lot of times, over the years, we have, gotten knowledge from, different areas, either by going to college and university, getting your bachelor's degree. We've gotten knowledge from the courses we've taken. We've gotten knowledge from the books we studied, webinars we've attended, podcasts we constantly listen to. A lot of us are always on YouTube, to learn. You also get knowledge from your work experience, because we have symposiums, we have workshops where you learn new things. All that experience and all that knowledge is also valid. So understanding that the knowledge you have is valid is important, and you can leverage the knowledge you already have. When you work in an industry, right, a particular tool, a particular software, you're now knowledgeable about the industry. You're now knowledgeable about the tools that are used in that industry. You're knowledgeable about the tools that I use, the softwares that I use, and you are a subject matter expert. Has anybody heard what we call a subject matter expert before? Has anybody heard that term before? Subject matter expert. So when you're a subject matter expert, the knowledge you have is unique to you, and you can use the knowledge you have to actually, get into business analysis. You can improve that knowledge by learning business analysis, learn the frameworks, learn the techniques, the tools, the terminologies, and add that into, what knowledge you already have. Take that into the knowledge you already have. Now, let me give you an example. So for someone who has worked in the banking industry, for example, right? Yes, Shegun, thank you. for someone who has already worked in the banking industry, for a lot of the banks, in case you don't know, the core banking solution that's used in the banks, a lot of the banks use the same banking solutions, right? So don't be surprised if you work in bank A today, move to bank B, and it's the same banking solution because they actually buy this these solutions and then customize it to their brand and to their products and their services. So somebody who had worked in bank A, where they use the same banking solution with bank B, moved to bank B and was employed as a business analyst because she knew how that solution worked. She had done it before, she had the experience, and she was leveraging that knowledge. She had also gotten a lot of training in that banking solution. So because of that, she was able to use that same experience in another company. Different, it was a different solution. However, because it was a banking solution, very similar, she was able to use that same experience. So when you think about the knowledge you have, everything you've learned so far is valuable. Everything you've learned is valuable, and you can use them to get into business analysis. You become the go-to expert because you have that knowledge. Because you have that knowledge, you become the go-to expert. Is it clear? If anyone has questions, let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about skills. Now skills are very important, and skill is very dicey because I feel like the skill area is where a lot of people sort of struggle with making that transition because there's so much confusion with regards to what are the right skills that business analysts need. And when I talk about this all the time, people are always surprised because what they see on YouTube or online or what they believe or think to be true is actually false. So let me ask you, what are some skills that you believe business analysts have that you already have? What are some skills that business analysts have that you already have? Of course, Chantel, definitely, of course you can. Absolutely, you can. I know you joined us late, Chantel, but we talked about the fact that helping with employee attrition, employee satisfaction, all of that, employee attrition, all those things are skills that are related to the recruiting and human resources space, but they're still relevant in business analysis, right? And there's actually, the HR business analyst role. There are also business analysis roles when it comes to the recruitment industry. There are a lot of recruitment softwares, recruitment tools that actually need subject matter experts, people who understand how recruitment works, and you would guide them on how to build effective solutions for recruiters based on your experience as a recruiter. So Tutu says problem solving, fantastic. Chantel says communication. Doriela says problem solving. I love that. Love that. So I love that you're saying all this. Stakeholder management, great. I love that you're saying all this because you definitely get it. All right. So you already have the skills you've been using at work. And those skills you have at work already bring value at work. Tutu says critical thinking, creativity, fantastic. Now, understand the difference between the hard skills and the soft skills. And that is where a lot of people feel like, I should focus on hard skills, not focus on the soft skills. Meanwhile, the soft skills are really what you need to make that successful transition. Know the skills that you already have that you can transfer. So like I was talking to you, Chantel, your experience in recruitment and in the human resources space is valuable because there are skills you can actually transition. Okay. All right. Have you ever done a SWOT analysis on yourself? SWOT, which is SWOT, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. That's what it means. If you've done that on yourself, you'll be able to understand what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and know how you can leverage them to get into business analysis because you already know the skills required. Bimpe or La Bimpe, the answer to your question is yes. And as you're listening, you will understand everything we're saying because we started a while ago. Of course, you would need to learn new skills, but the skills you already have can actually get you there. Okay, the skills you already have can get you there. Now let's look at the top 10 hard skills that business analysts have. The top 10 hard skills that business analysts have are customer experience. So somebody asked about customer experience right now. That is one of the skills that business analysts have. Design thinking, agile mindset, change management, user stories, negotiation skills, critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, decision making skills. These are hard skills that business analysts have. And a couple of you had mentioned critical thinking and problem solving, right? And these are hard skills that business analysts already have. So some of you are already using this at work, especially if you're in a role where you have to do a lot of analysis, do a lot of critical thinking, then you're doing business analysis and you're using the right skills. Now, for the soft skills, these are the soft skills that business analysts use: communication skills, creative thinking skills, organizational skills, leadership skills, emotional intelligence skills, storytelling as well. Business analysts need to be able to tell stories, to be able to share how they want to solve the problem for their customers. They need to apply emotional intelligence while trying to help their customers, solve problems, right? And they need to be leaders. You need to be able to lead your team, guide them, and direct them. That's leadership. You need to be able to communicate effectively. In fact, this is the most important skill that BAs have. Is 91% of the work that business analysts do. 91% is communication skills. So these are the soft skills and the hard skills. Now, there's no way you would see, skills that business analysts should have: Python, R, Java, and all those things that people feel they need to go and learn before they can become business analysts. Those are not skills. Those are tools. Tools can always be learned. Tools can be changed. Tools can be customized. You'll be surprised that you will go on YouTube and learn a tool. You will join a company and it'll be totally different because tools can be customized. I am a real life experience of this. Okay, so don't get ahead of yourself and believe when I learn the tools, then I can get the job. No, that's not true. You need to be able to understand the skills that you already have, and we just shared these skills together. So thank you to all the people who shared these skills because they were right on point. Thank you, Sade. Problem solving, analytical skills. Those were right on the money, right on the money. And then, of course, understanding the trends of business analysis. For example, right now in business analysis, the agile approaches and the agile mindset is really what is the most practiced approach is the agile. So you want to also understand, how does agile work? How can I learn how to use the agile approaches? That would help you to position yourself for business analyst opportunities. Now, the next is certifications. Now, when you're trying to make that transition, you want to know what are the certifications that companies are looking for. Don't just go and get any certification online or anything you see on Google or YouTube because somebody somewhere said they got that certification. What you can do is look at the job descriptions. The company will tell you what they're looking for, right? They will tell you what they want. So you know what is in demand. You know what is in demand and you get the ones that are in the most demand. Thank you, Shali. Thank you for joining. Right. So you get the certifications that are most in demand, and that positions you for those opportunities. Now, certifications don't exactly get you jobs because there's still a lot of strategies to job searching. However, the certification would validate your experience. The experience you have will be validated. It means that, okay, this person has, this person has the knowledge, has gone through a qualification process, and has been certified as a certified business analyst or a professional project manager or a scrum master or a process analyst. So you want to make sure that the certifications you get are in the area you want to work because it validates your skills, it validates your experience. It just tells the hiring manager that, okay, this person can be seen as an expert. This person knows the methodologies, knows the right frameworks, knows what to do in any given situation. This person can apply business analysis frameworks. And that's what makes a wannabe different from someone who is really a business analyst. And there are more wannabe business analysts than the real business analysts because they don't know how to apply the frameworks. And a hiring manager asks you questions, expects you to answer them in a certain way, because with every industry, there are standards, there are frameworks. Okay. And when you have a lot of these global certifications, like the IIBA certifications for business analysis, we have the ECBA, the CCBA, and the CBAP, right? You become globally sought after and you have better understanding of the job. When you have the right certifications, you have better understanding of the job. You know what to do in any given situation. You know the techniques to apply. You know how to leverage the skills you already have. Okay. Now, for those of us here, if you're on Clubhouse, I want you to follow me and make sure you're there next week, Friday, because next week, Friday on Clubhouse, we have the IIBA, the International Institute of Business Analysis, coming to Clubhouse. They're coming to our six-figure business analyst club, and they're actually coming to tell you how to start a business analysis career. They're going to give away some gifts, and then they're giving away one free certification to just one person. So you want to make sure that you're there and you can win a free certification from the IIBA, in that session. And I'll share more about it on my wall and on my page. But for those who are here right now, mark it in your calendars. It's going to be 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and that would be 9 p.m. in Nigeria. So, anywhere you are, make sure you calculate the time zones, put it in your calendar, set an alarm, and be there. It's going to be on Clubhouse. Okay? So, knowing the right certifications you can get would help you to get jobs faster, help you to increase your income as well. Okay? The BAs who hold the certifications, the IIBA certifications, earn 12% more than BAs who don't. They earn 12% more. So certifications are very valid. Benefits of certification: you get a greater fulfillment at work when you're certified. You have higher confidence at work when you're certified. You can increase your salary to way, way, way higher than, $100,000. Like we saw earlier, in a lot of these companies, in a lot of these countries, rather, the higher the higher you are with regards to certifications, experience, and knowledge, the more you would earn as well. And as we heard earlier, there's some industries that pay really well, like banking, finance, insurance, IT, healthcare, pharmaceutical, consulting, professional services, government. These are industries where you can actually make more. So get your certifications, increase your salary. It helps you to get promotions. It helps you to improve performance ratings, helps you to find a job as well. So these are the benefits of certification, and you want to make sure that you are positioning yourself for all of that. Hi, Luchi. Hi, Ahmed. Thanks for joining. Hi, Abike. So the IIB certifications are so good, so helpful, because imagine merging experience, merging the skills, merging the knowledge you have with the right certifications. Those are things that you need, and you have the right mindset as well. Those are the things you need to have to get you to where you want to be. How does that sound? And these are the things that a lot of people, Shade is the 29th of October, next week, Friday, 29th of October. So these are the things that you want to keep top of mind when you're thinking about this transition journey, okay? Now, get mentorship and coaching. Mentorship and coaching is important for you because it is a shortcut, and an easier way. My handle is the same everywhere. Is Miss Pragmatic anywhere. Anywhere you're looking for me, just search the same handle anywhere on social media, except from LinkedIn. My name is Eno Eka, right? And YouTube, Eno Eka, right? So get mentorship, get a coach, learn from someone who's already done it, someone probably in the same industry, someone who has transitioned as well to business analysis. Learn from the person, learn from their experiences, learn from the mistakes they've made, and you save so much time when you learn from a mentor or you learn from a coach. And getting a mentor, getting a coach is priceless. It's so priceless to get that. And, that is really what I do, because when I was trying to make this transition journey, it was really tough finding a mentor or a coach, especially back in Nigeria where it wasn't very, popular. There weren't a lot of people in business analysis. But now it's easy to find people working as business analysts in Nigeria. It's easy to find people working as business analysts anywhere in the world. right? So reach out to these people, ask them questions. If they have coaching programs, join them. I created a coaching program to help more people get into business analysis, and that's what I've been doing so far. And of course, we have lots and lots of results of people who have done the same simply because I really taught them what I did to make that transition. So pretty easy. All right. And then the last step really is your continuous improvement. Never stop learning, keep improving yourself. I'm always improving myself. I'm always learning new things, new methodologies, new trends, new tools, new techniques, joining webinars, joining the IIBA, learning from other people, taking courses, getting certifications. The BA field is very interesting, to be honest. It's very dynamic. And that's something that I enjoy, right? Because, like I said, when I was in accounting, it was the same thing. But with business analysis, it is so dynamic, it is so different. There's something new to learn every day. And that's the beauty of business analysis. You can't get bored because there are so many perspectives to business analysis. And that's what I love. Maybe you could be working on a data project. Maybe we're migrating data. The next project might be improving the business process. The next project you work on can be, creating training for our staff. The next training you work on might be implementing a new technology. Maybe we're changing our customer our customer relationship management tool, our CRM tool. The next technique, the next project you work on could be something that relates to implementing a government policy. Things can be so different, and that's what makes it so interesting. Is that it's exciting, it's challenging, it's dynamic. There's something new to learn every day, and that's the beauty of business analysis. You definitely cannot get bored. So continuously improve yourself, keep learning. There's so many new tools, but however, you don't focus on learning the tools because you need to focus on learning the skill set of business analysis, having the right mindset, applying the skills, experience, and the knowledge you already have. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions as we get into the final lap of our class today. Final lap. Now let's talk about some key tasks that business analysts take part in. Sometimes it could be very, very vague with regards to what do business analysts really do. And people ask me this all the time. What do business analysts really do? So I group them into different sections when it comes to the work that BAs do. The first section is the needs assessment. As BAs, we're always assessing needs of the business. And when we say needs assessment, it can be very vague because what is really a need, right? What is really a need? However, when we talk about needs, we talk about a problem or an opportunity. A business need could be, in regards to a problem, is that our customers are complaining, right? We're getting customer complaints that when they call our call center, the wait time is very long. Now, that's a business problem. How can we solve that problem, right? Or we have a business problem whereby all our staff are leaving the company within 3 months of joining the company. That's a business problem, right? A business problem could be that our sales are low. Why are our sales low? That's a business problem. Okay. And we need to analyze that problem. Now, a business opportunity could also be that, hey, what's happening? We see a lot of demand for our products or our services from people outside Nigeria, maybe in another country. Maybe people in Ghana are actually requesting for our products or our services. That's an opportunity for us to think about moving into that market, right? Because there's a demand from there. So we need to think about needs in the fact that it could be problems, it could be opportunities, and we need to assess them. And that's what business analysts do. Okay. We need to also collect data. We collect a lot of information. We ask questions. We analyze the information. We collaborate with our team. We develop the goals for the business. We develop the goals for the project, right? We develop the objectives as well. We identify who are the stakeholders, who are the right people to work with, and how we can work effectively with them. What is of value to our stakeholders, determine their value, and see how we can actually serve them and make them happy. So these are the things that business analysts do. And we do this a lot at work, regardless of our titles. Business analysts also do a lot of work with planning, right? So when you're doing planning, you're basically planning with regards to the initiative you're going to be working on. So we create a business case. Should we go ahead with this project? Yes or no? You as a BA, you will recommend to the business, well, we do have a lot of demand from Ghana. However, moving to Ghana, the cost of doing this is going to be, 1 million, whereby from my analysis, we will only be making around 50,000 in sales. So it doesn't make sense to make that move. You need to advise the business. So you're more like an advisor to the business, right? So you advise the business, you define the strategy. If we're going ahead or not, you define the strategy and how we're going to do it. You develop a plan as well. You develop a requirements management plan. You manage your requirements. You select the method you would use for your requirements management. You select the methods you would use for managing the change on that project, because as with every project, there might be changes. So you select the methods you would use, how you would control people's access to documents, to files. All those things are what business analysts do, right? You define what would be the metrics for success, right, on our project. When you think about the project you're working on, how can we say the project is successful? How can we say we're able to solve our customers' problems? Maybe the wait time on our calls in our call centers have reduced from 30 minutes to 5 minutes, right? So that could be success for you. So if you can get a wait time of 3 minutes to 5 minutes, that determines success for us. So what are the success criterias and all of that? So we think about all these things. And then during the analysis part of the work we do, we elicit requirements, we analyze them, we decompose them, we use techniques as well to do this. We evaluate different options that we have, because the truth is, with every initiative, with every project, there might be option A, B, C. And sometimes an option is to do nothing. So you want to evaluate the different options that we have, and work with our team to make sure that we select and choose the best option for us, long term and short term. That's where business analysts come in, because we're not allowing the business to make hasty decisions, right? Our decisions are backed up with data, and we're confident that we have the right success metrics, and we have everything in place. We have the right people, we have the right processes, we have the right technology, or we're working with third-party vendors, third-party stakeholders that are going to help us to implement it. We know what we need to do, right? And then, of course, once we know all of that, we accept our requirements, we sign them off, we start validating our requirements, we make sure that we know the metrics for success and our acceptance criteria. So these are some of the things that business analysts do, right? And when it comes to our requirements, we do a lot of traceability and monitoring, like tracking requirements, monitoring them, updating the status, how things are going, are there changes to be made, communicating with all the different stakeholders, managing the changes as well, because as with every with every project, there would always be some changes. So how do we manage change as well? Okay. And then with evaluation, what we do is validating the solution, analyzing and communicating the solution to our stakeholders, ensuring our stakeholders are signing off, evaluating the solution after it's been deployed. All these things we do as business analysts. And like I said, a lot of the things we do are regardless of your work experience. It doesn't really matter, your job title, rather, it doesn't really matter the job title you've done. We've done a bit of all these things in our roles as business analysts. Okay? All right. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about becoming a business analyst and sustaining that with ease? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you understanding what is business analysis, what business analysts do, what determines a successful business analyst, the steps to actually making that transition, knowing what you know now based on your own experience, based on the skills you have, based on the knowledge you have, having the right mindset, having the right mentorship plan. What would you say is your ranking from 1 to 10 with regards to how confident you are about business analysis and starting in that career path? 10, Doriela, I love that. I love that. Shade, how about you? Erica, how about you? Who else is here? Tell me. A couple of people that have been here with us for a while, so they are here throughout the whole class. Tutu, Ife, okay. How confident are you? How would you rank yourself? EJ says 10. I love that. Ifeanyi says 10. Ife says 10. Olabingpig says 10. Oh my God. You guys almost says 10. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. That's fantastic. So, we've learned a lot about, how we can start careers as business analysts, the things that we need to do, what we already have, so it's nothing to be scared, of, because the truth is, people are already doing it, right? And you're already doing it in your role. The definition of a business analyst is anybody who carries out business analysis tasks, regardless of their title or job role. So it's not about your job role or your job title, but the experience you have, the skills you have, the knowledge you have, and how you can translate that to business analysis. Hi, Adebola. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, I'll be taking some questions before we call it a day. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, Eno Eka, and then my business analysis school, businessanalysis.school.com. You can go there. There's free trainings there. You can learn more about business analysis. You can also see other people share their experience moving into business analysis. So any questions, I'm happy to take any questions. We have definitely spent a lot of time together, but it was definitely worthwhile because Omo, Bingpe, EJ, Ife, Ifeanyi, Doriela all says they're on a 10, which is huge. Any questions? I know I was answering a lot of questions as we're going along, so any questions? No questions? All good? So what are the next steps you're going to be taking? Let me know what the next steps are. What are you going to be taking? What are the next steps for you? If you don't have any questions, let me know the next steps. Or San Diego says, I think I'm convinced now of who a BA is. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. So what are the next steps you're going to be taking? Let me know. Modesty. Not exactly. Like I shared earlier, it validates your knowledge and experience. You can get a role without being certified if you've gotten the relevant training in business analysis. Because remember, like I said, there are certain tasks and techniques that we use as business analysts. So you need to be able to at least use those tasks and techniques. So even if you can use them and you don't have the certification, you can still get a role as a business analyst. In fact, the story I shared earlier about landing the managerial position, she doesn't even have her certificate yet. But she had completed her training. She did a 3-month training in my school. Doriela says, would you advise a BA now to focus on agile? Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. As at last year, 72% of the projects were agile projects, right? 72% of projects that business analysts around the world were part of were agile. So that definitely sends a message, right? Doriela, that as a business analyst right now, you need to learn the agile methodology, learn the different frameworks, and focus on that, because the truth is a lot of employers right now are looking for business analysts who have a bit of everything: change management, project management, change management, process analysis. Also, employers are looking for BAs who have some agile knowledge and experience. It is very important. And also what I see now is a lot of BA roles are moving into product owner and product manager roles. right? So a lot of BA roles are moving into product owner, product manager, and that has a lot of agility component to it. So you definitely want to, learn business analysis and learn agility right now. Dex, send me a message about training. Send me a message. Send me a message. Fantastic. That's awesome. All right. Okay, so if you don't have any questions and we're all good, we have learned how to use the skills and experience you already have to land roles as business analysts, feel free to send me a message, or visit businessanalysis.school.com. If you also want this slide deck that I shared, feel free to send me a message. If you also want free Scrum training, feel free to send a message or email support@businessanalysis.school.com. We would give you access to free Scrum training. You can start there as well. And then also, if you want access to this slide deck as well, I can definitely share it with you so you can go and do some further studying yourself. And then, of course, once the 2021 results are out, I definitely will be sharing that with you, because I am very certain that the salary scale would have improved, and so many things as well would have improved regards to the trends for business analysis. Okay. And then don't forget to join the Clubhouse room next week, Friday, 29th of October. The IIBA, International Institute of Business Analysis, is coming to Clubhouse to share with you how to start your career as business analyst. They will share all the resources they have, answer your questions, and they're also giving away some materials, some of IIBA material, and they're giving away a free ECBA certification. Oluremi Ajoke, send me a message if you haven't joined Clubhouse, but you could definitely download the app from your app store and you would find it there. But you can send me a message. I can send you a link as well. Okay. So you guys, make sure you join Clubhouse next week, Friday. I hope to. Oh, Sandy is a combination of both. We have classes, business analysis school. Okay, let me talk about business analysis school. Okay, business analysis school is a school where we teach you, right, how to use the experience you already have. So everything we talked about on this class, like on this live stream, imagine actually doing that, in a program. So that's what we do. And we start with the mindset, right? We teach you how to understand what you've done, understand the value you bring to the table, be confident in your skills and experience. Okay. And then we teach you the business analysis knowledge. We teach you, the framework of business analysis. We follow the IIBA structure. So everything that is required to get you certified, we prepare you for that. But also inclusive, we focus on other relevant areas for you. Other relevant areas like project management, agile, Scrum, change management, data analysis, Excel, SQL, Tableau, business process analysis, BPMN, vendor management. We focus on change management, Lean Six Sigma, all of that. So we focus on all these different areas that are relevant for you to know as a business analyst. We teach you how to use your experience, right? So it's a combination of, we have an online course, right? So once the course portal for all students, there's classes, they're recorded, there's assessment, quizzes, practice questions. We have a question bank of over 600 questions to prepare you for the certification. We have quizzes as well for you to actually test yourself as you're studying. And then we have live classes every day. We have classes in the evenings. We have classes on the weekends as well. We want to make sure that you're well prepared for this journey. Okay. And then also helping you to land the job, we cover resume preparation. So we give you worksheets to do. You fill out those worksheets. In those worksheets, we're going to get you to actually see the things you've done in business analysis, regardless of your work experience. So you get your resume done, get your LinkedIn profile done and up to date. And then we give you lots of cheat sheets as well to do that, and templates. Also, with regards to job search, we also do interview prep, interview coaching. We have a full day dedicated to that. So every Monday we do that. Okay. And then even inside our course portal, there are there's coaching for interviews, right? So we coach you for the interviews as well. So we have interview prep, how to use your experience, translate to business analysis, answer interview questions. What are the typical interview questions for business analysts? We give you a question and answer guide that you can actually use to prepare for business analyst interviews, divided into different categories, whether it's process analysis, whether it's data analysis, whether it's IT, whichever. Um, yeah, we give you access to our recruiter database as well. Recruiters in Canada, in the US, in the UK, we give you access to that database as well. We give you access to, strategies that you would use, how to network on LinkedIn, how to network with recruiters, how to connect with recruiters, all of that. You learn all of that, and that helps you with your job search. Okay. And then even on the job, while you're working in that role, we give you the templates and the toolkits to use as business analysts, because like we said earlier, the business analyst is someone who is using the task and techniques, and there are tools that we use. So we teach you the tools, you do assignments, you learn them, and then we give you the toolkits as well to use at work, the templates to use at work. So you're never having to do anything from scratch. You already have what you need to carry out your job. So yeah, so that's what we do. I know it's a lot, it's loaded. I know. I know. And then there are also certifications, right? Preparing you for the IIBA certifications, and then Scrum certifications, Six Sigma certifications as well, inclusive in the program. Yeah, so basically you can get out of the program, work as a business analyst, choose to work in process analysis, data analysis, work as an agile team lead, a scrum master, scrum product owner, because that's all covered, right? So yeah, I know. The truth is, for me, excellence is important. So it's not just some half-baked classes. So when someone tells me, "Oh, I am a business analyst," how? I took a course on Udemy or on YouTube. Nah, that's not true. You can't just be a business analyst that way. You need to actually actually know your onions, right? And it's evident on your resume, your interviews, your LinkedIn, and all of that. Jude, can I get a remote job as a BA without being in the location? Yes, you definitely can. I have a student in Ghana. She lives in Ghana and she works for a tech company in the UK as a product manager. And she got that role within 6 to 7 weeks. So if you have questions, send me a DM. I'll answer your questions. Or if I can't, or an email, whichever, myself, anybody in the team would answer your questions. Yeah, feel free to Nimi, feel free to drop your question, or if you want to make it private, you can send it to me by DMs. Okay, for sure. We definitely get a lot of messages. You can also send an email as well. That probably get faster reply. Muyi, I see you just joined because I talked about that earlier, right? So with business analysis is really about enabling change in the organization, defining needs, analyzing them, recommending solutions, delivering value to the business. Data analysis is basically using data to do this, right? So when we get data, what do? We scrape the data, we clean up the data, we use the data to actually help the company make informed decisions. We use visualization tools like Power BI, Tableau, and then we, create reports. We create reporting, and based off of that, advise the business and recommend solutions to the business. So see data analysis as an offspring of business analysis. So it's basically like one of the perspectives of business analysis. And there's so many ways we do business analysis. Data is just one of them. So Shagui, in our program, we teach you Excel, we teach you SQL, and then we also teach you Tableau. So those three skills would definitely land you a role as a data analyst if you are passionate about data. Yeah, I mean, your certification course would definitely help you. I don't know what the course outline is like, but it should definitely teach you some skills, give you some experience. One thing with our program is you learn in the class, you have access to the online course. We have daily coaching, so no matter what time of the day, no matter where you are, you can always, get into class. Also, we have the online course, which is, we also have the online course, which is, how you can accelerate your journey with our course portal. We have a mobile app, we have a web app. So with our mobile app, you can always on the go keep studying, right? You can also join our classes through Zoom. We do classes through Zoom, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, EJ. I appreciate that. Yeah, and the amazing thing is, learning those practical skills, having the knowledge of the framework, putting that together with the practical skills, you have to do assessment. We access your assignments, so you have to learn how to actually do them. So it's not just sitting in class and listening. You actually have to do the practical aspect of it, which is doing your assignments, and then you also have a capstone project. So the capstone project at the end is you would be giving different businesses, and you pick one and you do a project based off that business. Wow, Ife, that's so good. You have a lot of data skills. Oh my god, you are really Ife baby love. Like, I like that name. So yeah, you have a lot of data skills. Lots and lots of data skills. All right. So yeah, and then you do the project, and that project, is experience on your resume as well. So you can leverage that project as experience on your resume. Oh, that's a good one. I like your MSc. I really like it. Are you done with your MSc, Ife? Any other questions? Anyone have questions? Oh, congratulations. I really enjoyed this session. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for those who stayed till the end, those who joined and had to drop off. It's been EJ is giving you respect, Ife. For those who joined, it's been fantastic and amazing. Tell me, did you enjoy the session? I know a lot of you said it was a 10. Shegun, thanks for staying all through. Did you enjoy this session? Should we do more of this? If there are other things you want to learn, let me know. And, I'm happy to, I teach every day. So I'm happy to share more, as time permits, of course. But let me know, I don't understand your question, Sekinat. Thank you, Shagun. Thank you, Modesty by Zat. Thank you, EJ. Thank you, Ife. Thank you, Omo. You're all amazing. People send me a message or send an email to support@businessanalysis.school.com. If you want to do the free Scrum certification, we can definitely give you access to that. Thank you, Ife. I enjoyed it too. Well, the truth is, Nimi, I think you should send me a private message because Shade, can you send me a message? Send me your email and I can send you the slide deck. But let me see if I can get back to that page. Yeah. So Nimi, I don't know what the course outline is. So that's why I can't. I don't know what the course outline is. So maybe you can send that to me in a private message and we can talk about that. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Jude. Thank you for coming too. Thank you, Mui. So Shadi, you wanted to see the slide again for the skills. These are the hard skills. And these are the soft skills. You're welcome, Nimi. All right. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. It's been fun being here with y'all. Thank you so much. I've got to run, but definitely we're still together. So send me a message as well. Anything, any question, anything, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Bye, everyone. Bye.